I'm Ashley, and I'm here today to do a book haul for the month of March. This month has felt like 500 years long because of everything going on, and I have bought quite a lot of books, more than I intended, but some of them came from book outlets, so they were actually on sale, and personal issues, you know, just whatever. So let's go just get into it. I don't know what all of them are about, so I can't give you detailed descriptions of every single book I bought this month, but I can tell you there are a lot of them. The first I'll show you is The Return by Rachel Harrison. This is a horror novel. I don't even know what it's about. I just know it's getting a ton of great reviews, and I really loved the cover, and I really wanted to read it. A lot of people that I really like to watch on BookTube and also know personally have loved this book, have got early copies, so I couldn't wait to get it in my hands. I will probably pick this up in April if I don't save it till October, because I read spooky books during October. The next is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This is a book based on an HGTV couple, from what I understand. They renovate houses, stuff like, kind of like a Chip and Joanna. I don't know if that's exactly how it is, but that's the gist. I have actually never... No, that's not true. I've read one book by Christina Lauren, and it was one of their first books in the series they did when they first started writing, and I really didn't love it, so I'm hoping this one will be better. I have a ton on my Kindle to read. I just haven't ever picked one up. They're very prolific, so I'll get to it. The next is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I loved the 5th season series by N.K. Jemisin. I think this is like a complete turnaround from her. The 5th season is weird. If you haven't read it, it's written in a weird POV. It's like you don't know who's talking necessarily, and I loved it, so I can't wait to get into this one. I don't know when I will necessarily, but I know it's about New York, but I can't say what about in New York. I'm not in love with the cover, with the weird double writing and the weird, like, the color. I'm not in love with the color cover. Next thing I bought, actually got off of Book Outlet. This is Catwoman Volume 2 by Joelle Jones. I will read this probably in April for graphic novels. I read the first one in March, or maybe it was in February. It's been a while, but I'm planning on reading it. The next I'll talk about is actually a series I picked up. One in paperback, one is a novella, and one is in hardback. Born by Jeff Vandermeer. The Strange Bird, which is in the exact same universe, and Dead Astronauts, which is the sequel to Born. I plan on reading these as soon as possible. I actually picked it up because in one of the challenges I'm doing, you're supposed to read a book set in the new weird genre, and this is the new weird. Also, I loved Annihilation by him. I loved the first book in the Annihilation series. I didn't love the other two, but I do want to read these. And also, I didn't really care about Born or the novella. I wanted this book because look at that cover. It's colorful and rainbow and weird, and there's astronauts. Like, I had to have it. even if I didn't want Born. That's why I bought them. I was willing to buy this in paperback because I really didn't. I wanted this one. Anyways, on to the next one. The Fire Never Goes Out by Noelle Stevenson. My books are falling over here. Ignore that. I have this stacked up over here as like what I plan on reading next. This is actually a graphic novel, a graphic memoir in pictures by Noelle Stevenson. Noelle Stevenson wrote Nimona. I reread Nimona this past month in March, so you will see the graphic novel review for it. I love Nimona with all my heart. I'm pretty sure she is also one of the people who helps or runs She-Ra, the Netflix TV show. Even the front, oh wow. In the back, I might just take the cover. I say that, but I would never take the dust jacket off. I don't care what's on the book. I can't help myself. I have to have the dust jacket. But it's gorgeous. I can't wait to get into it. That'll probably be the other graphic novel for April. The next is an anthology. I love anthologies with all my heart. A Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patricia Caldwell. This has got Elizabeth Acevedo, who wrote The Fire on High. No. I don't remember the name of it, but Donnell Clayton, I've read books by her, and Justina Ireland, who wrote Dread Nation, and Rebecca Roanhorse, which wrote Trail of Lightning. This is 16 tales that explore the Black experience through fantasy, science fiction, and magic coming together in one stunning narrative. I'm really excited to get into this because I love science fiction and fantasy. And also, it's really just pretty on the outside. So, this will probably be one I try to get to in April. No promises. Next is a sequel, The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. This is the sequel to No. Undercover Bromance is the sequel. This one. The first one is The Bromance Book Club. Lisa K. Adams is the author. This is the sister from the book in this one, and Braden Mack, who was not an antagonist, but he was somebody who bothered the hero in the first book. I've heard some bad reviews about this, and I didn't hear bad reviews until I'd actually already bought it, so it makes me kind of nervous. But I do still plan on reading it because one of my friends is wanting to do a buddy read for it. Heather, the one we also buddy read this one. So that is in the plans in the future. So the next I picked up The Trespasser by Tana French. This is the 5th in her Dublin Murder Squad series. I recommend that series because I love it with all my heart. The first was In the Woods by her. It follows a different detective every book. This one is Detective Conway from the 4th book. She features in this one. I've read reviews saying this is probably one of the best ones. My favorite is probably Faithful Place. I loved Faithful Place, and I plan on getting to this before next year. I have a tendency to read Tana French in March because March is St. Patrick's Day, and so I read books set in Ireland in March. I know, like, that's not, I don't think they even really celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I think that's like a uniquely American overdone holiday, but I love it anyway, so I will get to it though before March of next year because I bought it. Next is Docile by K.M. Spara, if that's how you say the name. This I've heard a lot of odd reviews. Docile is about this man who sells himself into like slavery, I guess. There is no consent under capitalism. If you're poor, you have to work for rich people, from what I understand. And then to make you docile, they give you a drug, and it's about this guy who decides not to take the drug. His mother was somebody who worked for somebody who was part of this docile group, and she took the drug and it didn't go good. One of the blurbs on the back says, "This is what 50 Shades of Grey could have been if only it had been brutally honest with itself." So that tells me something. I haven't read if it's smutty or if it's got sex scenes, but I understand that they're basically selling themselves into slavery, and that can include sex. So we shall see. The next is another buddy read I decided to pick up, and also the Literally Dead Book Club is doing and this is the Literally Dead Book Club pick for April. You Were Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I plan on reading that then. It's also a buddy read with my friend Heather, another one. So next I picked up We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. I love everything Sarah Gailey writes. I follow their newsletter. I loved one of her books last year was my favorite in 2019. I'm pretty sure this will be too. It's about girls with magic, so I don't know what else I could want. Next, some graphic novels I picked up from Book Outlet. Wonder Woman Volume 1, Aquaman Volume 1, and Bombshells Volume 1 and 2. I don't know when I will get to these. Probably one of them at least in April. I have actually read Wonder Woman and Aquaman Volume 1 just on Kindle. I plan on going back and rereading some of these later. This one is The Lies and the Drowning, and for Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Bombshells, American Soul, and War Bonds is Volume 2. So I will get into those in the coming months. More picks from Book Outlet. The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I actually grabbed this one because I'm obsessed with this cover. So I don't even know what it's about, and I will figure out when I read it, but I really just wanted it because the cover. I know, oh, and the end pages are matte. There's a little crow on the front, but you can't see it. It's embossed. It's so perfect. It's so pretty. It's one of my favorite covers from this year so far. Next is Again But Better by Christine Riccio. She is actually a booktuber. This I picked up. It's got a store sticker on it, but I got it from Book Outlet. So it's one of those I picked up knowing it was from another booktuber, but not real sure. I know it's a YA contemporary. I will eventually get to it. That's all I can tell you. I'll mess with the sticker later. Last, but, well, I say last, but there's 3 more. Post-Colonial Love Poems. This is a book of poems by Natalie Diaz. I'm pretty sure she is Native American, and I will get into this. I don't know why I continue to buy poetry when I don't always enjoy it, but I do. I can't help myself. And also, the cover was kind of intriguing, so I'll get into that. And the two big releases from March. This one is 800 pages long. It doesn't look it, but it is. House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Why in the world does it have so many titles? I don't know, but it does. I can't help that. This one is her adult title, or her adult fiction novel, her first in the adult. The ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses series, is adult. I know it's not considered adult, but it's absolutely adult. So, if I loved Throne of Glass by her, I loved A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. So, I will get into this. I still have to read Kingdom of Ash though, so I'm not going to pick this up until I read Kingdom of Ash. And I'm contemplating doing a reread of all of her series. It's just like with the next author, because it's been several years since they were published and I'm behind. But I like Sarah J. Maas. I can't help myself. Next and last, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. What can I say about Cassandra Clare besides I love her so much? I started reading City of Bones probably when I was in high school. I think is when that series came out. I can't tell you the exact year, but I read it. I've been reading her since I was in high school. Like, I love her work. I love her books. My favorite series by her is the Infernal Devices. I don't know if this is how this is connected, and from what I understand, you need to actually have read or finished the Dark Artifices series, which I haven't done, and I just decided to do a reread. I'm going to start with City of Bones and read everything by her, from her novels to the short story collections, because I've never read a Shadowhunters Academy series, like short story collection. I never read the Mangus Bane Chronicles. I didn't pick up the Red Scrolls book, and I want to do that because I love her writing. So, and I know she didn't write all of the short story collections, but it's whatever. That is what I got for the month of March. That took a lot longer than I thought it would, but here's my book haul, if you can see. Anyways, I will see y'all later, and thanks for watching. Bye.